Forget everything you thought you knew about fertilizing peppers. Your NPK strategy might be holding them back. We're diving deep into the often ignored micronutrients that are the true game changers for robust pepper plants and record-breaking yields. You won't look at your fertilizer the same way again. The hidden truth: why NPK isn't enough. For decades, the gardening world has been obsessed with NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Walk into any garden center and you'll be bombarded with 10-10-10 this and 5-10-5 that. It makes sense why NPK dominated our thinking. These macronutrients are easy to measure, relatively inexpensive to produce, and show dramatic initial results that make us feel like successful gardeners. When you dump nitrogen on a struggling pepper plant, the leaves green up almost overnight, creating that satisfying "I fixed it" moment we all crave. But here's what the fertilizer companies don't want you to know. Your pepper plants might be suffering from what soil scientists call hidden hunger. Your plants look decent, maybe even good, but they're not thriving. They're like a person surviving on fast food, getting enough calories to function, but missing the vitamins and minerals needed to truly flourish. This hidden hunger is the silent killer of pepper yields, and it's happening in gardens across the country right now. The problem runs deeper than most gardeners realize. NPK is like giving your pepper plants a hamburger when they're craving a balanced, nutrient-dense meal. Sure, they'll survive, but they won't reach their genetic potential for size, flavor, heat, or disease resistance. I've watched gardeners struggle for years with mediocre harvests, adding more and more NPK fertilizer, just wondering why their neighbors' peppers always seem more vibrant and productive. Let me introduce you to the real heroes of pepper nutrition, the micronutrients that transform good plants into exceptional ones. Think of these as the specialized tools in your pepper plant's metabolic toolkit. Without them, even the most expensive NPK fertilizer becomes useless, like having all the lumber in the world but no hammer or nails to build with. Boron acts as the plant's hormone regulator and is absolutely critical for flower formation and fruit set. When peppers lack boron, you'll see poor pollination, hollow fruits, and that frustrating phenomenon where flowers drop before forming peppers. Boron deficiency looks like thick, brittle leaves and stunted growing tips, often mistaken for overwatering or root problems. Manganese serves as the plant's photosynthesis enhancer, working behind the scenes to help your peppers convert sunlight into energy more efficiently. Manganese-deficient peppers develop a distinctive interveinal chlorosis yellow leaves with green veins that create a beautiful but concerning striped pattern. These plants often look tired, even in perfect growing conditions. Zinc functions as the growth hormone activator, essential for proper cell division and stem elongation. Zinc-deficient pepper plants stay disappointingly short and bushy, with leaves that develop a mottled yellow appearance and shortened internodes. It's like the plant's growth button got stuck in slow motion. Iron serves as the oxygen transporter within the plant, and iron deficiency creates some of the most dramatic visual symptoms. New growth emerges bright yellow or almost white while older leaves remain green, creating a striking contrast that immediately catches your eye. Iron-deficient peppers struggle with energy production and often develop thin, weak stems. Copper works as the plant's disease-fighting assistant, strengthening cell walls and activating defense mechanisms. Copper-deficient plants become susceptible to fungal diseases and develop leaves with a distinctive blue-green tint before yellowing. Molybdenum acts as the nitrogen processor, helping plants convert atmospheric nitrogen into usable compounds. Without adequate molybdenum, even nitrogen-rich soil becomes useless to your peppers. Diagnosing micronutrient deficiencies is really your pepper plant's SOS. Learning to read your pepper plant's distress signals transforms you from a reactive gardener to a proactive plant detective. The key is understanding that micronutrient deficiencies create specific predictable patterns that differ significantly from NPK problems. While nitrogen deficiency causes uniform yellowing from the bottom up, micronutrient issues create distinctive signatures that tell you exactly what's missing. Start your diagnosis by examining the newest growth first. Iron deficiency appears almost exclusively in young leaves, creating that dramatic yellow with green veins pattern on the newest growth, while older leaves remain healthy. This is completely opposite to nitrogen deficiency, which affects older leaves first. If you see uniform yellowing throughout the plant, you're looking at macronutrient issues, not micronutrient problems. Boron deficiency reveals itself through reproductive failure and structural abnormalities. Look for thick, leathery leaves, shortened internodes, and most tellingly, flowers that form but drop without setting fruit. Boron-deficient pepper plants often develop a bushier, more compact growth pattern as growing tips become malformed or die back entirely. Manganese deficiency creates the most photogenic symptoms, those beautiful but troubling yellow stripes between leaf veins. This interveinal chlorosis typically starts on younger leaves and progresses upward. The plant maintains its basic structure but seems to lack vitality, producing smaller, less flavorful fruits even when flowering appears normal. Zinc deficiency is perhaps the most frustrating to diagnose because affected plants often look healthy at first glance. Look for reduced plant height, smaller than normal leaves with yellow mottling and shortened distances between leaf nodes. Zinc-deficient pepper plants seem perpetually juvenile, never quite reaching their expected mature size. Environmental factors can mask or intensify these symptoms, making diagnosis trickier than it first appears. Soil pH plays a massive role in micronutrient availability. Even if your soil contains adequate micronutrients, alkaline conditions above pH 7.5 can lock them up, making them inaccessible to plant roots. Similarly, excessive watering creates anaerobic conditions that interfere with root uptake of several micronutrients, particularly iron and manganese. Solutions and strategies. Feeding your peppers right. Once you've identified specific micronutrient deficiencies, targeted solutions can transform struggling plants into productive powerhouses. The key is understanding that micronutrients work differently than macronutrients. They're needed in much smaller quantities but must be in the right chemical form to be useful to your plants. Chelated micronutrients represent the gold standard for correction and prevention. Chelation is essentially wrapping the micronutrient in an organic molecule that protects it from being tied up by soil chemistry, while making it immediately available to plant roots. Think of chelation as putting your micronutrients in a protective wrapper that dissolves only when the plant needs them. Eta-chelated iron, manganese, and zinc provide quick correction of deficiencies and work effectively even in challenging soil conditions. Foliar feeding offers the fastest route to micronutrient correction, bypassing soil chemistry issues entirely. Early morning application of diluted chelated micronutrients directly to leaf surfaces provides almost immediate relief for deficient plants. However, foliar feeding is a temporary solution that must be combined with soil-based long-term strategies to prevent recurring problems. Organic matter serves as nature's micronutrient buffer, slowly releasing trace elements while improving soil structure and pH stability. Well-decomposed compost contains a broad spectrum of micronutrients in naturally chelated forms, making them readily available to plant roots throughout the growing season. Adding 2 to 3 inches of quality compost annually creates a micronutrient reservoir that feeds your peppers consistently without the boom-bust cycle of synthetic fertilizers. Specific soil amendments can address targeted deficiencies while improving overall soil health. Kelp meal provides a broad spectrum of trace elements, particularly boron and molybdenum. Rock dust amendments like basalt or granite meal slowly release minerals over multiple seasons, creating long-term micronutrient availability. For immediate correction, products like ironite, which is iron sulfate or borax for severe boron deficiency, provide quick relief but must be used carefully to avoid toxicity. pH management represents the foundation of any successful micronutrient program. Regular soil testing and pH adjustment ensure that even naturally present micronutrients remain available to your pepper plants. Most micronutrients become more available in slightly acidic conditions, with the optimal pH range for peppers falling between 6.0 and 6.8. Beyond the basics, maximizing your pepper potential really comes down to understanding micronutrients. This transforms your entire approach to pepper growing, shifting focus from simply keeping plants alive to optimizing their genetic potential. When your peppers receive balanced micronutrition, the improvements extend far beyond bigger yields. You'll notice deeper, more vibrant colors in both foliage and fruits, enhanced disease resistance that reduces your need for interventions, and most importantly for pepper enthusiasts, significantly improved flavor and heat levels. The connection between micronutrients and pepper quality runs deeper than most gardeners realize. Boron directly influences the formation of capsaicin, the compound that creates heat in peppers. Adequately nourished plants consistently produce hotter peppers with more complex flavor profiles. Manganese enhances the production of aromatic compounds that contribute to pepper flavor, while zinc influences the plant's ability to produce the oils and compounds that create that distinctive pepper taste we all crave. Disease resistance improvements become apparent within weeks of correcting micronutrient deficiencies. Plants with adequate copper develop stronger cell walls that resist fungal penetration. Proper zinc nutrition enhances the plant's natural defense mechanisms, reducing susceptibility to bacterial and viral infections. Well-nourished pepper plants simply fight off problems more effectively, reducing your workload while improving yields. This journey into micronutrient mastery requires patience and observation, but honestly, the rewards justify every effort. Start small, focus on 1 or 2 suspected deficiencies, and document your results with photos and notes. Over time, you'll develop an intuitive understanding of what your plants need and when they need it. Your pepper harvests will transform from adequate to exceptional, and you'll finally understand why some gardeners seem to have a magic touch with their plants. The secret isn't magic, it's micronutrients. When you provide your pepper plants with the complete nutritional profile they've evolved to need, they respond with vigor, productivity, and quality that will amaze both you and everyone who tastes your harvest. Start implementing these strategies this growing season, and prepare to see your pepper growing reach entirely new levels of success. Ready to transform your pepper harvest with micronutrient mastery? Subscribe to Smart Garden for more science-backed growing strategies that actually work. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to move beyond basic NPK and unlock their plants' true potential. Drop a comment below sharing your biggest micronutrient challenge. Let's solve it together.